This is row 1, seat 1.
Well, this is nice. When did we start doing this? Nobody told me about this. I thought everything sucked now. Do you have a card?
You shake my bones and you rat on my balls.
He's fucking right now. I'm going to, okay? Jada, I love him. Can't wait to see him. All right?
Luck is for dudes.
I'm like, Joey can't get to his damn computer and phone fast enough to just smash everything he can possibly say.
That means every fucking thing to me.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
All right, well, fuck it. We're just going to do it live. We're just going to roll with it. I have no idea.
Doing it live.
I have no idea what's going on with our stream tonight, but it seems like it's very limited. It's not popping up on a lot of places that it should be, so we apologize for that. If you're supposed to be listening to the show and you're not, well, I would say go to our Facebook page at Row 1 Seat 1, but it doesn't even seem to be there, so let's just try this. Let's see if I can't let's see if we can. We might have to do this manually, Paul. That's how this is probably going to have to go. We're going to have to fucking do it manual.
All right, old school.
Let's see.
See what you can dump it into.
Let's
throw it into every page you can. Just drop the link.
Share via. Share copy link.
Jesus.
I mean, this is rough, dude. This is a rough go. I don't know what Facebook's doing to us right now.
Yeah, sabotaging that whole thing.
I feel like we're being shadow banned.
Yeah, but I don't understand why it's letting you do some things but not other things. Like, you would think it would just not let you do anything at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
It pops up when you share the show on its own self, like on its own page, but it doesn't pop up on any other cross platforms when you like it's supposed to. So once again, we apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But
Well, I just posted it to my personal page, so let's see. I'll put it up on the Row 1 Seat 1 page as well. This is just, it's super strange because usually it pops right up. It's never an issue.
yeah,
It goes right to all of our stuff, but for whatever reason tonight, this has just been interesting.
pain in the ass. Well, that's all right. We'll get it going here. We'll get everybody up, front seats. We got a lot to talk about. Week 1 was utterly disappointing. But at the same time, obviously enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm so happy football's back.
I was happy football's back until about 11:30 last night, and then I realized I'm not happy football is back.
Yeah.
In fact, I would be fine if football just fucked right off for another 6 months, and I wouldn't have to deal with any of this shit.
It didn't take 2 minutes into the 1 o'clock games before Joey was fucking screaming at the fucking refs and their bullshit calls about about throwing flags on ticky-tack. It's like, this is football, guys. Like, come on. I did see a couple plays where they didn't throw flags. I was kind of like, oh, all right.
So, yeah, there was a couple of so we're going to get into all of week number 1 in the National Football League, obviously. First and foremost, thank you, everybody who is tuning in. Row 1, Seat 1, Joey Fats Radio, 774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. The phones are now on and ready for your call, so we'll be here for the next hour or so talking about everything in week number 1 in the National Football League. There is a lot to digest, a lot to get into, a lot to break down, especially if you are a Broncos, Colts, Patriots, Raiders, Packers,
I'm trying to think of who else.
Titans. There's a lot going on this week. Bengals, how about that? Rams got issues. There's a lot of teams that were that left week 1 utterly disappointed based on the expectations coming into this season. My Broncos were one of them. I am not thrilled with how that game finished last night. Broncos country, we did not ride. We did not ride.
You rode to the tune of Russ.
We rode the short bus, not the.
Just bad execution and really, really key points of the game. Like they said, you scored 3 fucking points off, 3 drives where you guys were within the 5-yard line, like right on the goal line. You guys couldn't come up with it. I'm like, this is bad news, man. This just
And if everybody who's listening, if you guys could like and share the stream off the New Bedford Guidepost, I have no idea why it's not getting out. It's not getting out to any of the other pages that it's supposed to be getting to, and I'm not really sure why. So if you could go ahead and give us the like and the like and the share. Most importantly, the share tonight will be big because we're very limited. And what we're dealing with here tonight, I'm not sure why. I don't know if we're I don't know if somebody said a naughty word at some point, and they're putting us in Facebook jail without telling us we're in Facebook jail.
Yeah, it could be.
But wouldn't surprise me in this day and
Probably
age.
wouldn't be the first time or the last.
We got to move over to like a YouTube and a Twitch stream next week too. Maybe I'll work on that tonight after the show. We'll cut the show a little bit short. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight after
we'll
this.
recap week 1, get the meat of it in, and
But we're gonna start off with the Broncos. Then we'll get into the Patriots. Then we'll get into the Packers. We'll get into whatever you want to get into.
The Colts is pretty quick.
The Colts.
That's a quick one.
The Colts were just the most disappointing. Like, you want to be mad, but you just fuck it. You're so mad, but you're like, but it could be worse. But we didn't lose. But why am I mad?
The whole fucking game, I'm sitting there and I'm going, did we actually get rid of Carson Wentz? Or is he still fucking under that goddamn number 2 fuck? Is that actually Matt Ryan back there?
Listen,
I mean, let a hell of a comeback.
Oh, by the way, Sean couldn't make it tonight due to he had prior engagements. So this is not an unexcused or unplanned absence. It's just,
Yes, don't speculate crazy shit.
Yes, we were gonna run with the idea that Sean wasn't here simply for the fact that he was so embarrassed that the Patriots lost to Tua, and that he couldn't show his face on the show. But honestly, that is true. It's not why he's not here.
I'm pretty sure in my mind, didn't I pick the Dolphins? We'll have to go back and see.
You might have. Check your picks.
Nah, I didn't use that game.
Check the Pick'em League.
Oh yeah. I'll look at that in a minute. I got my other stuff up right now.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so let's dive right into it, Paul. Let's get into week number 1. So let's start. We'll start with last night's game and work our way back through Sunday, and eventually to Thursday too, because we do have to talk about the complete and utter dominance that the Bills showed in L.A. On Thursday night. Last night might be one of the most perplexing, ridiculous, idiotic sequences I've ever seen to end a football game in the National Football League. In my 20-plus, almost 30-plus years of watching this league, I have never seen anything quite as dumb as what I saw last night.
Yeah. Now Hackett's over there probably still wondering why the fuck he decided to kick it instead of use Russ. I mean, it's what you paid how many million?
$245 million they paid for Russ. They gave up multiple first-round draft picks. They, Noah Fant, Big Shelby Harris, Drew Lock. You pay the man $245 million, and your first instinct is, let's trot our kicker out for a 64-yard field goal, which, by the way,
listen to these stats.
Since 2004, there have been 29 field goals of 64 yards or more attempted. Only 2 have been made. That is a 7% chance, ladies and gentlemen, that ball is going through the uprights and that you are going to be satisfied with the result. Now, I would have to go back and look, but I believe the majority of those were either desperation kicks at the end of the game, or they were at the end of the half where you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see if we can send it. Yeah. So, that being said, a little bit ridiculous.
I would say so.
For me, look, as a Broncos fan, we expected to go in there and pretty much handle the Seattle Seahawks. And if you look at the stat sheet, we handled the Seattle Seahawks everywhere except where it mattered.
Right.
The Broncos moved the ball up and down the field.
Yep.
Okay, they gave up 2 touchdowns to 2 tight ends and 2 busted coverages on 2 plays that, one of which should have been a sack. The other was just a straight miscommunication in the secondary, which it happens. Okay, it's a new defensive scheme. You got new players. Listen, those things are going to happen throughout the year. Good teams, or not even good teams, just teams in the NFL will take advantage of them.
Right.
Whether they're good or not, they're going to take advantage of them because that's what the NFL is. That's how competitive it is, and we all know what the level of play is. That being said, the Broncos dominated the fuck out of that game.
Yeah, they played well. I mean, like when you look at it, we were talking. I mean, Pat Surtain definitely locked down DK Metcalf last
34 yards.
34 yards. That was a lock. The things that as a whole the Broncos just have to. I don't want to say it's like those like first game jitters. You got to get the rust off, but like Literally,
They got to clean it up, though.
You got to clean it up. Russ, a brand new fucking, I don't care what you say. It's a brand new team, brand new place. He's in his home his former home stadium, playing on the opposite team. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to fuck with you mentally. I don't blame the guy. As a whole, the Broncos just got to clean shit up a little bit. It's the first fucking game. It's the first fucking game with your new quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Dust off, come back and fucking clean shit up. That's all you can really do. I mean, Geno Smith didn't really do much last night. Everybody said, everybody wrote me up. I mean, what did he was checking down most of the fucking game. Like, anybody can fucking do
his
that.
His completion percentage was really good because he never pushed the ball down the field except for those 2 touchdowns that, again, both were busted coverages, essentially.
Right. You'd be a moron not to throw it to Drizzly and whoever else that other kid is. With
the Seahawks in general, the Seahawks as a team gained 34 total yards in the second half. 34 total yards.
That's insane.
And they were shut out in the second half. So the defense did what the defense needed to do, sans 2 big plays early on in the game. It wasn't like nobody had any big days offensively. Geno Smith, everybody's like, oh, Geno Smith, he carved you up. No, he didn't. No, he had a good first half and 2 lucky throws. That's about it. I mean, granted, hey, sometimes it's all it takes.
Right.
And I'm not gonna sit here and overly stress the positive. Because what I saw last night was a team that looked like they really didn't take the preseason seriously, and that looked more like a preseason warm-up game than it did opening night, in Seattle.
You can't have those mishaps that close.
You can't. And
close to the end
that
zone.
being said, I am 0% worried about what this team's record's going to be at the end of the year, where they're going to find themselves come January.
Yeah.
I am not worried about it at all. If you're a Broncos fan, breathe. Relax.
It's okay.
Okay, it's not like we went out there and we have Drew Lock at quarterback and we're still like, oh man, I just really hope he develops and are we going to be looking for a quarterback at the end of the year again? I don't know. No, We're not. We've got our quarterback. We have a first ballot Hall of Famer under center taking snaps, and Russ moved the ball at will last night against Seattle. The problem was, and this is one of the bigger problems I had, and this was a coaching mishap. This game was squarely on the coaching to me from the get-go. When you have goal and inches, why are you running up lining up to run it out of the shotgun? Like, at least go under center and give it to your back and let your back get a little head of steam and get some momentum and run downhill. Like, is that so much to ask? I don't understand that. So they do that twice. Melvin Gordon fumbling in big spots is nothing new. Why Melvin Gordon is even back, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not really thrilled with that. Like, I know Javonte caught 11 balls last night, but Javonte Williams needs to be carrying the ball 25, 30 times a game. Right. That man needs to be given the ball. That dude is a bowling ball made of butcher knives, and he needs to be given the ball and he needs to be allowed to run.
Right.
That being said, why are you lining up in the shotgun with Javonte next to you and then the play gets blown up? Javonte fumbles the ball, which is something he never does.
Yeah.
And twice down on the goal line, you basically fumble away 14 points right there.
No, I would have broke it off to Judy, man. He had himself a fucking game last night. He looked fucking great.
Judy had the one catch, came back to a ball, got threw the defender on the floor and kept going.
He looked good.
Which was great because finally Jerry Judy's got a touchdown. That's what we were missing all of last year.
Yeah.
But again, as a Broncos fan, I am not even remotely close to hitting the panic button. I'm disappointed and a little bit disgusted because I feel like there was a lot that happened in that game. Like, that game to me was the epitome of what teams do, like what bad teams do in the NFL, like bad coaches do in the NFL.
Right.
Like, you never see Bill Belichick do that. Bill Belichick's not going to line up to run it out of the shotgun on third and goal from the 3-inch line.
Those simple mistakes.
He's going to line it up. The quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to ease his body across the goal line. 6 points, done. Go back to the sideline. That last night is what dumb coaches do. And I swear to God, I say this all the time on this show. I could do a better job in game, in situations, calling plays than some of these guys that have head coaching gigs that get paid millions of dollars. And I'm only saying that slightly tongue-in-cheek. Like I swear, somebody get me a job just sitting in the booth, watching the game as a fan, being like, "Don't do that. Why are you doing that? What are you doing? Stop that. Don't do that."
Right.
Like that, and I guarantee you, I'll get you at least 2 more wins a year than you would have had. Because I feel like it happens every single week where like you just have coaches that do dumb shit, and they're just I mean, like, wait, hold on. Why are we running out of the shotgun? Put him under center and quarterback sneak this. Why are we even handing the ball off? You get literally 2 inches to go to a fucking to the goal. Just give it to fucking Russ and let him lean forward. Why are we getting cute and even making the extra moving part?
I know.
And then on top of that, you have the final drive, which obviously everybody's talking about. You have 3 timeouts, 3 minutes to go, and you got to get in field goal range to kick a field goal to win by 2. That should be automatic. You have Russell Wilson under center. This isn't Drew Lock. This isn't Case Keenum or Joe
Russ could
Flacco.
pick up 5 yards on a bootleg. No.
This isn't Trevor Siemian or Paxton Lynch. This is Russell fucking Wilson. What are you doing? And I get it. There was some penalties on that drive, which there was a lot of penalties last night. Way more on the Broncos than there were on the Seahawks. But that's another story for another day. There was a couple of penalties that had me beside myself, but I was more or less beside myself on Sunday with games that I wasn't even fucking vested in.
True.
But nonetheless, you've got 3 minutes and 3 timeouts to go, 40 yards tops?
Yeah.
And you get to 4th and 5. And everybody's saying it. Peyton Manning is saying it in the Manning cast. Shannon Sharp, who was their guest during that 4th quarter, is saying it. Eli is saying it. Why aren't they calling timeout? Where's the timeout? Why aren't they calling timeout? Call timeout. What are you doing? And then they let it run down to 20 seconds left, and then they take the timeout. And you're like, wait, what? You didn't just do what I think you did you?
Yep.
And then they did. And then you get to the point where Nathaniel Hackett, then Brandon McManus comes running out, and I'm like, no. No. Come on. Listen, I love Brandon McManus.
I know, I do too.
He is the last.
I thought last night, I'm like, if there's any motherfucker in this league that could probably put it through right now, I'm like, it's Brandon McManus. The dude's got a fucking leg.
Brandon McManus.
I had faith when they were doing it, and I'm like, come on, bro. Like, this is it, man. I'm like, I've seen you guys in practice fucking boot field goals 70 fucking yards. You know what I mean? Like, but I know game situations is just so much different. It's crazy. Like, obviously.
Okay, so we're live now. Looks like the stream is up and live and normal.
Oh, about time. All
About
right.
fucking time. All right, this is really chapping my Nesmans.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all for joining us. If you are, sorry we're late, but there we are. We're up. We're back. We're live. That took a long time for that to show up.
Yeah.
That was 18 minutes before that showed up on the Row 1 Cena page.
nuts.
But anyhow.
But like I said,
I love Brandon McManus.
Me
but
too.
there is no way in fucking hell. Brandon McManus' career-long field goal is 61 yards.
I know.
I just gave you the stats.
Didn't anybody tell him that on the sideline? Like, hey, bro, just let you know, here's the sheet. You know.
and not for nothing.
Printout on
it
McManus.
had the distance.
I know. It
had the distance. It was just a little bit left. I mean, it was a tiny bit left. Was that the alert saying that we're live?
No.
It was a tiny bit left, and if he had hit that,
But I got it.
it would have been all great. Everything would have been all good. Everybody would have been happy. Okay, we win. You know what? We snatched victory from the jaws of defeat there. Took a 64-yard field goal, and I can still hear the narrative. Whether we won or lost, I can still hear, bro, 64-yard field goal. That's what it took you to beat fucking Geno Smith, bro. Listen,
Christ's sakes.
it's week 1. Okay, I'm not worried about week number 1. I've lost week 1 before. The last time I remember the Broncos losing a game that they should have won on the road, week 1, they ended up 13-3. So I'm really not worried about it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this team's got that DNA, but I would have to imagine that this team, could start off. I figure they'll probably start off like the 2012 Broncos, where they were like 2-3, and then ripped off 10 straight or 11 straight to finish the year.
Could happen.
And finish 13-3 in the number 1 seed.
Like you said, dude. It's
I'm not worried about it. What I do need though to see is better coaching decisions out of the rookie head coach in Hackett. He was touted as an offensive genius, one of these young guys that gets it, that understands it. Now, you're allowed to make mistakes as a coach.
Of course.
And he owned them.
And it's his first year head coaching job.
First
You
game.
know what I mean? First game.
First game,
cut
first
the guys
year.
some slack.
I get it.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that you pay Russell Wilson $245 million for this exact scenario. This, like I said, this isn't Trevor Siemian. This isn't Drew Lock. We're not trotting, Brandon McManus out there because we have no faith in Drew Lock. In this case, it was the exact opposite. They trotted Brandon McManus out there because they inexplicably had way too much confidence in him. And I'm not saying way too much confidence. Like I said, it wasn't like he missed the field goal by a mile. Right. Missed by inches.
But
I mean, it actually came off his foot and looked good. It just faded a little bit to the left.
I thought so, too. I was like, oh, shit.
At the end of the day, though.
Considering who you have at quarterback, though, you know what I mean? Like
Russell Wilson, in his career, when he needs 4 to 6 yards on fourth down, there's a 57% conversion rate.
Right.
So that means, to me, 6 out of 10 times, he's getting the ball past the sticks on fourth down when he needs only 4 or 6 yards.
He should have
4 to
just
6
stayed
yards
out on the field.
You let
should have just stood there and be like, no.
What happened to let Russ cook?
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to let Russ cook.
Russ is waving him back on the sideline.
If I would have loved it if Russ had waved off the fucking punt, like the field goal team.
Been like,
I was like, no, and just pulled a fucking Peyton Manning and said, no, I'm fucking going for this. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
I would have loved it. I mean, it would have been a really interesting conversation between him and the rookie head coach.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it would have been the right choice.
Would have needed 2 wheelbarrows this week.
Yeah, 2 wheelbarrows. One for
the Dolphins head coach.
One for Mike McDaniel's balls and one for Russ Wilson's.
Yep.
But no, they took that opportunity away, and they still had timeout. So even if you throw across the middle, you still have a timeout. And at least now, if you get 8 yards out of that, now you're looking at a 56-yard field goal, which is at least makeable.
Dude, I'm telling you, Judy could hit you on the side and just get out of bounds 2 or 3 times with his speed anyway, dude, and get you a good 4 or 5. You could get down to a 40-something yard field goal if you wanted to.
I was just beyond baffled at the quickness with which they were like, field goal.
Yeah, they're like, no, fuck this.
Like, you don't even want to you got 3 timeouts. Why don't you burn one? Talk it over a little bit.
Yeah, he uses the fucking timeouts when the Seahawks are on the field after they miss it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, oh, we're hoping for a miracle. Well, hey, at least he didn't.
You had your miracle last possession, asshole.
at least Nathaniel Hackett didn't adopt the Vic Fangio strategy of, well, if I save these timeouts, I can roll them over to next week.
No,
that was how Vic Fangio treated it.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and stress the negatives because there was a bunch of them, and like I said, I was baffled, beyond baffled, that sequence of events could actually take place during an NFL contest.
Right.
I never thought I would see that in my life. And like I said, I'm not always the smartest guy in the room. Most of the time, but not always. But I was first guessing pretty much everything they did. I first guessed both runs out of the shotgun. Didn't like either one of those. Cortland Sutton with the false start with the little twitch on the shovel pass to Andrew Beck. That would have been a touchdown.
Big time.
Fucking killed us. There's
the fundamentals, bro. Clean up the fundamentals and the bad coaching, and week 2 is going to be a different
not even
story.
bad coaching. Just okay. Let's get that draw play blocked up. Let's get that run play blocked up out of the shotgun, and not get Javonte blown up in the backfield. And guess what? He's not fumbling it. It comes down to execution, but you can, as a play caller, as an offense, you've got to put your players in the best situation that they can be put in order to succeed. Nathaniel Hackett did not do that last night. Now, I will say this. I do have high hopes that he will learn from these mistakes because I don't think he's a 2009 Josh McDaniels. I came from Bill Belichick. I know everything. No one can tell me what to do because that was McDaniel's attitude when he came to Denver in 2009. And I've seen that. I don't see that out of Hackett. I don't get that vibe from him. I don't think that's the way it goes. But young coaches are going to do dumb shit.
Right.
That was some pretty dumb shit they did last night. They got the Texans at home on Sunday. I think they'll probably handle the Texans pretty easily.
They should.
And then they get the 49ers at home on Sunday Night Football in Week 3.
Yep.
You win those 2 games, 2-1. You've completely forgotten about the Week 1 debacle at this point.
Right,
at that point,
right.
You're moved on with the season. So, 774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. We've got. Yeah, is Yeah, there's something up, Shane. Sorry about the stream, dude. I don't know what is going on with the stream tonight, but Facebook something's fucky with Facebook. So just bear with us. I have no idea what is going on. It is what it is at this point. So it was a rough night to be a Broncos fan. I was not happy, but guess what? All is not lost. All is not lost.
Yep.
And unlike Patriot fans, I am not quitting on my team after one loss. Because I saw a ton, and I mean a ton, of posts say, well, this season's over. Belichick sucks. Brady was the greatest. It was all Brady. It was Belichick's terrible. You Patriots fans, I swear, and I've been telling you how dumb you are for 20 years, and yet you still just refuse to listen. Maybe, and I don't have any delusions that you're ever going to all of a sudden wake up one day and be like, damn, Fats, you were right. I mean, I know I'm right. I'm always right. But I don't have any delusions that you're going to be like, damn, you were right. You've had this going pegged the whole time. Listen,
jumping ship quick.
I did not say the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl this year. I did not say the Patriots were going to be even a divisional round team. I said the Patriots will be better than people think, which they still will be, okay? Because the thing with the Patriots, and we'll do the Patriots-Dolphins now. The thing with the Patriots and the Dolphins is this. The Patriots have lost 8 out of their last 10 in Miami. Okay, do you know who the quarterback for, let's see, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of those 8 were? Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had Cam Newton for 1, Mac Jones for 2 in Miami so far. And then the other 5 losses were under Tom Brady. So you tell me, is this a Patriots personnel problem, or does this sound more like the Dolphins just kind of got your fucking number when you come to Miami, and for whatever reason it's been a personal house of horrors?
Yeah, I mean every team has those though. You know what I mean? Like divisional games are always fucking tough. Everybody knows a fucking 0-13 Jacksonville team playing the Indianapolis Colts who were fucking 13-0. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
This is ripe for an upset.
Yep, this is and we're in Jacksonville. You're away from home. I mean, like we said, we haven't won a home opener in 9 years.
Wow.
We're 8-1 in home.
1-8, you mean?
No, because we're 8 losses, 1 tie.
You're 0-8-1.
I'm not even talking about the winners
you're
column.
You're 0-8-1.
Yeah, so we're just 8-1. You know, it sounds better.
Damn, you guys had a home opener and you tied it.
I know.
No, was that? Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't your building. That was in Texas.
Texans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you're week 1. You're 0-8-1.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're 1 on week 1. Okay, you said home opener.
Did I say home? Yeah.
I
mean opening week.
You had me confused there.
I
Opening
always
day.
say home when I say that. I don't know why. It's not home if you're not at your fucking building.
Your home opener is in 2 weeks, right? Because aren't you guys at
we're in Jacksonville this week.
Yeah, so you guys don't have a home.
Fucking another loss. Here we go.
If the Colts start 0-1-1.
We've done it before.
0-1-1? I don't remember.
No, not with a tie, but like just like 0-2, 0-3. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's happened before. Don't get me wrong.
Like Brisket and a couple other people.
And we'll get to the Colts in a second, but as far as the Patriots go, and the Dolphins, again, look, I know it's week 1, and I know everybody wants to sit there and use week 1 as like the "I told you so." You know, I got people telling me, "Oh, I told you the Broncos were gonna fucking suck this year. You didn't believe. You thought Russ was gonna be the difference." Bro, it's one game. One game. 1.
Let's start talking after like week 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Done.
How about we talk at the end of October? Okay. Once Halloween rolls around, then you kind of know, like, you start to see the teams for what they are and who they are. And listen, the Patriots and the Dolphins, like, this game means nothing. Like the Dolphins have had the Patriots number in Miami in a number of different ways. Whether they're winning on the final. The kickoff, the lateral thing, or they're beating the shit out of them or whatever, or they dominate them like they did on Sunday. Yep. I am not even flinching on my prediction that the Patriots will still finish second in that division. Because as good as I think the Dolphins are, and I do believe the Dolphins are a good team.
Yeah.
What I saw out of Tua on Sunday was not what I would have liked to have seen Not enough. I did not see enough to make me change my mind. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I get Mac Jones isn't throwing to anybody. He doesn't have any wide receivers. He's a sophomore quarterback. It's the offense, who's calling the plays? Nobody knows.
Right.
Is it going to be somebody different next week? What's the philosophy? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with Bill Belichick and that team and who's coaching and who's doing what. However, what I do know is that Bill Belichick is still the head coach of the New England Football Patriots, and that is going to bode well for them in the end.
Of course, always does.
Joey Fats Radio, row 1C1. You're
Can
on.
you hear me?
Yeah,
what up, bro?
you're there.
What up?
Oh, cool. Yeah, what a crazy football weekend.
It was a little out there, bud.
Yeah, I think here's what Patriots fans aren't turning their back on Bill Belichick. What I've heard reports today about Robert Kraft too. I just think we're all kind of getting sick of him picking, his friends as OC. I heard a report today that Robert Kraft was actually legitimately angry and asked why Kendrick Bourne didn't play. I just think it would be nice if we just had like a 50-50, like a general manager, and then just had Bill just coach. And I think it would, it'd be better that way. We'd have a real, another Josh McDaniels, a real defensive coordinator that isn't his son's cousin, and just, build a better staff.
But do you not trust Bill Belichick to build his staff?
I trust. You can say whatever you want about me, Patriots fans, Joey. There's something happens to everyone of that thing. They get what's called an ego. Yes, I would have considered a fourth: Romeo Cannell, Charlie Wise, Bill O'Brien. I can go on. I think Joey now he wants his friends in there. He said a couple of years ago that he really at this time wants to coach with people he likes. He got that fat ass Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator. Joey, you're too smart at football to say that Matt Patricia's a good offensive coordinator.
Listen, I don't know if Matt Patricia's a good offensive coordinator or not. I would be inclined to believe that he's smart enough to be able to assume that role. I just don't know if I'm Bill Belichick. I don't know what's going on. The thing is one thing I know about Bill Belichick is there is always more than what going on than what you see. They never let you peek behind the curtain in Foxborough. Bill has been excellent at that his entire life, his entire career. Now, I'm not saying that this season, like I said, I don't think the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're making a deep playoff run. I don't think they're going to be really much to sneeze at. I think they're a fringe playoff team that's good enough to be maybe second in their division. Probably second in their division because again, I'm not sold on the Dolphins. Good roster. Yeah. Good team. I like Mike McDaniel, Shanahan guy. Love that. Love seeing Shanahan tree coaches succeed. But again, I'm still not sold on the quarterback. There's a reason why Stephen Ross was basically willing to risk having to sell his team in order to get Tom Brady and Sean Payton in that door. Over the offseason.
God, that would have been so fun, Joey.
It would have. It really would have. I would have loved this year way more if Tom Brady had been a Miami Dolphin.
Oh my God, I'd be like, this is amazing.
But that being said, Pat, you've got to remember Bill is always looking at the bigger picture. Bill is always looking. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Bill is always looking down the road. Now, you know that the Patriots and Sean knows the what? Vodka soda, the strawberry one.
Well, may have a vodka soda after this.
Yeah. Well, Paul's making a quick pit stop downstairs while we got you here. But Sean has the exact the exact numbers, and I'm not sure exactly. How many players? I think it was 37 or 39 players that the Patriots have under contract next year. Yeah. And their projected cap space is somewhere in the neighborhood of $140 million. So when you have that many guys under, think about it. That means you've got $140 million to basically go spend on 13 guys. You're going to be making some serious upgrades. Now, I'm not saying Bill's punting on this season, but I will say that Bill might just be saying, you know what? We've got the guys we've got. Let's develop the ones that we have in-house. Let's see who's going to be here because next year is when we start the next run, the next dynasty run. Next year, if it's going to happen, next year is going to be the year that we're going to do it. Because they have the cap space, they have the contracts, they're aligning the stars perfectly so that way they know. Because Bill Belichick's no dummy. He's looking around the division. He looks at Miami and he sees that roster and he knows what Stephen Ross was up to. I mean, we joked.
Ain't gonna last.
We joked a lot about, Belichick texting the wrong Brian With the
That was
Flores
so fucking
Dayball
bad.
thing. And, that got Flores, thinking that got Flores to sue the Dolphins and brought all the heat on him and possibly prevented them from getting Brady and Peyton, which would have chapped Bill's ass. So there is a game of chess that is going on behind the scenes that we do not see in Foxborough. And I know it's frustrating as a fan because you want to win now. You never know, like, what you're going to be able to do, when things are going to get good. But again, and this kills me to say it, but the Patriots aren't going anywhere. This is going to be as long as Bill is running that team, that franchise is going to be relevant and they're going to be dangerous. Now, they might not be as dangerous this year as you've come to, expect over the last 2 decades because, yeah, you lost your franchise quarterback. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but not many teams just move on from a guy of that caliber and just pick up right where they left off. It usually takes a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wouldn't the Rams eventually get fucked for all the money they're spending?
I mean, yes and no. They're going to get the Rams are going to get fucked more because they're spending money on players that are getting towards the end of their career, not because they're not. It's not necessarily because they're spending the money. It's because Aaron Donald was flirting with retiring this year. Matt Stafford, who knows how much more lead he has left in the pencil. Jalen Ramsey, there's rumors out there of him being just kind of aloof and not interested in football anymore. I know Sean McVay and Les Snead just got their extensions, but we were talking. There was rumors, and I will say I had on good authority from sources within the league that Sean McVay was inches away from retiring after the Super Bowl last year. Now,
if you want to think about you could coach, you could fucking have Les Snead's job. Just look for the best players and trade $1 million first-round picks for them.
Listen, man, I'm on team fuck those picks. Okay, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a good team, your first-round draft picks are usually crapshoots because you're drafting in the back end of the first round anyway. And what are you going to do? You're probably going to trade back. And try to get the best value for a guy. So why not go out and blow 2 first-round picks on a Russell Wilson or a Matt Stafford and win a Super Bowl because of it? But in the Patriots case, Pat, and this is what I want to tell you Patriots fans, this is why I laugh at you guys, because you did this in 2014 when Brady had that awful game in Kansas City and they got blown out by the Chiefs, and everybody was like, oh, that's it. Put in Jimmy G. The run's over. This is it. Stick a fork in them. They're done. And I wish Sean was here because he was on the show that Tuesday night when we did our show, and I said, relax. Y'all are overreacting. You're crazy if you think that this run is over. And what did they go to do? Just win 3 more Super Bowls. So, as the voice of reason in the house, as the abject Patriot hater who just happens to know more about your team than most of your fan base does?
I don't think that's true.
Relax.
I think Bill's ego's destroying him. We'll see. Hey,
relax. Listen, you're not winning the Super Bowl this year. Okay?
I know.
Right there. We all knew that. We all know that. Yeah. We all knew that coming into the season. We all knew at the end of last season. It didn't really matter. Unless Mac Jones makes leaps and bounds of improvements and all of a sudden becomes, Aaron Rodgers 2.0 or Drew Brees 2.0 overnight, yeah, they're not winning the Super Bowl. And even if he does, who's he throwing to? I mean, you got Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. They're pretty good. But, look, just bear with the Patriots for now, okay? It's going to be there's going to be some growing pains here. People are going to come after Belichick. They're going to say things like, oh, why is he doing this? And they're going to criticize him. Listen, the man is above reproach at this point. He can do no wrong. And you should treat him as such.
We shall see about that offense, but I think Hackett last night was just this thing of a rookie coach's first game. I'm sure the Broncos will steamroll.
Listen, I think so too. Like I said, I have absolutely. I don't think this affects. Oh, you must. Where are you in Dorchester?
What'd you say?
So what are you in Dorchester?
Oh, I know. BPD's going by. Sorry.
Like Pat's like, oh no, some guy just got shot outside my.
I'm on Blue Hill Ave right now.
Or is that your angry neighbor that puts notes on cars?
He stopped doing that because he put no parking in front of his house in yellow paint and a BPD Boston Transportation Department. I guess like they came by and he was like, "Who the fuck you think you are parking in front of my house?" And they're like, "We're the Boston Transportation Department. Like you can't do that anymore, but you can't paint the street. You can't paint the street."
Jesus,
That's
crazy
fucking great.
Davis. Crazy.
God.
But no, you're right. Like I said, Pat, I have last night really what I saw, and I had a conversation with my good buddy who's a diehard Broncos fan as well.
Yep.
He had the exact opposite take. He's like, he's got no faith in this coaching staff. He's like, he's ready to, just fucking sell him down the river, fuck him, get rid of him, let's replace him. And listen, I'll say this. If Nathaniel Hackett proves over the next 17 weeks that he can't get it done in this league, listen, the Broncos ownership isn't going to keep him around.
Yeah.
If there's a guy like Sean Payton available, I mean, you're gonna start to wonder, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, that might be a pretty good combo.
Do you guys have new ownership? I forget.
Yeah,
right?
we got the
Don't you?
Waltons.
Walmart.
Okay, yeah.
We got that Wally World money, bro.
Yeah.
we can buy everybody.
Stacks like
Yes,
the
you
Yankees.
can
all of a
now.
sudden.
Yeah, we're basically the Yankees of the fucking Midwest now.
I think Gronky has every other team out there, but sorry, that's
Yeah, he does. He's a fucking weirdo. Guy's owns mad fucking teams.
that?
Stan Kroenke owns the Rams, and I think he owns.
They're just marrying money. What a way to do it.
I know, right? It's just like fucking
know.
genius. Why didn't I think of that?
Buy mad sports teams.
I'm trying to
Awesome.
think if anything else. Before I just shut up and listen. What happened with the Colts, Paul? I'm not like making fun of him. I didn't watch the game.
Dude, it was a horrific showing by the offense in a way that basically can relate to Joey's Broncos. Just rusty, new quarterback, new team, first game jitters. I mean, it's not like we have new coaching staff or anything like that. I mean, we utilized Jonathan Taylor the exact way that I would have, that I wanted to, and that we did. You know what I mean? He got a $161, I think, in a touch. He didn't break away for that long one that I was hoping for, but it's kind of selfish of me to like expect that and think that just should happen, like once a game. We get kind of spoiled with him. As far as the rest of the team, I mean, we relied on a pretty, like I said, our receiving core is not the best. I mean, we got Pittman Jr. and I mean, Alec Pierce coming in with being a rookie, having that throw that he missed in the end zone was huge. But as far as like overall going, just got to clean up some shit. I think Matty Ice did a great job. I think the defense needs to step it up. We were without Shaq Leonard yesterday, and I mean, like, whatever. Like, we still had Defoe, we still had Ngakoue, we still have Gilmore, we still have decent guys. Bobby Okereke kind of came out. You know what I mean? It's the first week, bro.
It's week one.
To tie though is so fucking heartbreaking, but I knew this was gonna happen because literally I did not expect the Texans defense to play as well as they did. They came out fucking firing. And that
Lovey
kid
was a good coach. Lovey was a good coach.
I know, and they did
Listen,
coach well.
I like Lovey. I've always
me
liked
too.
Lovey. I always thought he was a decent head coach. I never thought he was a bad head coach.
Yep.
He was put in an impossible position in Chicago all those years with the quarterback flux. I
Right.
mean, he took Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl, for Christ's sakes.
Right,
Well,
I know.
I mean, granted, he
I
had
know.
Brian
my
Urlacher
God.
and Lance Briggs
It
and
is
Peanut
so-
Tillman
yeah.
and Devin Hester,
It's
but whatever.
ridiculous D in special teams, but
But still, that was a well-built defense. But no, I like Lovey. And to Paul's point, Pat, because I watched the whole game with him, it was just one of those games where you just – and I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but I'm fairly certain there was 9 quarterbacks that did not take a snap in preseason, and I'm pretty sure they went 0-9 this week.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, because all the practices, they're saying, like, for ticket fan holders, no one cares about – they don't care about preseason games anymore. That's
no,
a
they
good
don't want to
stat.
get their
It's a stat to
boys
remember.
hurt, man. So many people blow
But there
up
was
their-
I don't
stat.
know if it was all of them, but I'm fairly certain going
Sneaky
into
good
Monday
stat.
night, Russell Wilson was the only one that didn't take a snap during preseason that hadn't been dubbed a winner or loser yet.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we all know how that turned out. But
Yeah, that's a sneaky good stat.
so something to keep an eye on and maybe think about for next year. Maybe maybe we do need to come out. I mean, look at Pat Mahomes, right? Pat Mahomes came out he played all 3 preseason games, first drive only.
Yeah.
Came out, played the first drive, scored a touchdown on the first drive each and every game.
Right.
And he comes out and he throws 5 touchdowns, goes 30 for 39, 380 yards, whatever it was, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. And he looked like he was in like mid-season form, MVP mid-season form. And right now he is far and away the front runner for MVP if we're going to overreact from week 1. But maybe there's something to be said about, the fact that we all kind of thought the Chiefs were going to struggle. Well, Tyreek Hill and this and that and the other thing.
Fucking
Bro,
45 touchdowns.
I hate to break it. It's, like I say with, you got Bill Belichick. you're going to be okay. If you've got Andy Reid, you're probably going to be okay too.
Yeah, for sure.
What would be cheaper, going to a Broncos, Chiefs, a Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes game in Kansas City or Denver? Would they both be a lot?
Oh,
Both-
probably KC would be cheaper.
That'd be
KC
cool
would be
and fast
cheaper
for you
to
do.
get to, I think, but
And probably overall, dude, you got to think, man, Denver's like a pretty democratic run city, dude. The fucking prices out there are pretty fucking steep. It's like it's all upper class or poverty. I've been there. It's a
Yeah.
I know
nice,
it's
nice
not
place. It's
cheap.
a very clean CD, very nice spot. City, sorry. The streets are clean and all that, like especially 16th. Like when you get downtown, it's a fucking sick town. Denver's awesome. I just feel like it's more expensive. I feel like the Midwest KC is just like get a fucking hot dog. It's like probably like $2.50. You know what I mean? Where you go to like fucking like you go to Mile High in a big time game like that, and they're like, yeah, we know where we are and who we are. You're gonna pay $6 fucking $7 for that hot dog, motherfucker. And we got Russ Wilson to fill the stand. So yeah, pony up the dough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
just
man.
so Kansas City at Denver is started. The tickets on StubHub start at $179. Denver at Kansas City tickets starting at $77.
Oh.
Denver at Kansas City.
Denver at Kansas City is $100 less, $102 less.
That's my point. Exactly. KC's got to be cheaper, dude.
I don't
It's
know if
the
I don't
Midwest,
know,
bro,
dude.
you know
I
what I
think
mean?
I'd rather just pony up the extra $102 per ticket and not have to go into enemy territory.
I'd rather
Broncos
go
at
to
Patriots
fucking
starting
Denver anyway.
$300.
I don't give a shit what's in KC. What fucking tumbleweeds and like weird old like.
Dope ass barbecue though.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's true. Yeah, probably. Pretty
I don't know,
bomb.
dude. Kansas City's a pretty lit spot, bro.
Is it? I've never been. Kansas City like rings off like Chicago. I have absolutely zero fucking interest to go there.
Oh, I have
some-
no interest to go there
unless
other than
someone
for
gave me
Broncos games.
Yeah, unless I happen to be off and someone gave me free flight and tickets to a game. Like, but I would never be like, oh, I gotta go there.
I'm gonna go there just to see Arrowhead
Maybe
one
a
time.
Colts,
So when
maybe
they
a
you
Colts
know
Cool.
when they
Chiefs.
sing the in the home of the Chiefs and the whole stadium fucking says it in unison. And they got some pretty dope flybys in Kansas City for whatever reason. They always get like sick
Well, the
flyovers.
stadium's sick, dude. The stadium
is.
looks pretty fucking sick. Dude,
KC's
from, like-
fucking dope. It's loud as shit. It's hostile
Yeah.
as fuck, but I don't know.
Nice.
But Pat, thanks for the call, bud.
Yo,
Yeah.
hey guys,
How-
win or lose, row and C1 football season's the best. I'm excited to listen every Tuesday and have you guys back.
I know we're glad it's football season, so we actually have
Glad
some
to
shit
be
to talk about.
glad to be back, bud. Like I said, I apologize for the fuck ups
No,
with the stream
all good,
tonight.
dude.
I don't think it's within my control.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find out, but it is what it be. So,
I'll be listening, boys. Have a good week.
Pat, we'll
All
talk
right,
to you next
dog.
week, bud.
Peace.
774-992-8702
I love
is the
when
phone
Pat
number.
calls.
Yes, he is. It is true.
Dude,
Roll
what I
on.
didn't get to tell Pat was a fucking tie really, really fucking hurts, bro. That's what I wanted to tell him. A tie
Ties
really
suck,
fucking
dude.
hurts.
They just
I tell
suck.
you, it is the one thing that will come back to bite you in the fucking ass at the end of the season when it comes to making a wild card or some shit like that. Watch.
Right, because now you've got to win an extra game that you may or may or may not. I don't even see if you have to win an extra game, but no, because the tie is actually it's more of a half a win. It's half a win, half a loss.
Yeah,
It can fuck you, but it could also work in your favor.
But dude, we've all seen how the fucking last couple games.
Because if you guys are
down.
9-7-1 at the end of the year, you're going to the playoffs over somebody who's 9-8.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
So this might work towards us in our favor this year, as long as we're not,
And not for nothing, but talk about teams that came out of the gate disappointing. Obviously, Denver, Indy, New England, Green Bay, San
Yeah.
Francisco was a tremendous letdown opening day, and the rain in Chicago. But what about
Nobody
the Tennessee
expected
Titans?
Baker, but yeah, Baker.
The Titans were a huge disappointment.
Yeah, Derrick Henry fucking got me 8. I'm not trying to bring fantasy because fuck fantasy, but he got me 8 fucking points, dude. I
Well,
was like, really?
Saquon
bro?
Barkley outworked Derrick Henry all
Dude.
fucking day.
Saquon
looked like Saquon that we want Saquon to look like.
Is this the Saquon that we've been missing the
Yes.
whole time because he's
This
been
is
hurt?
rookie year Saquon.
I'm like, this is what Saquon. I always wished he would do well. I always want him to do well. I thought he was nasty at fucking Penn State, right? Penn State? Yeah, Penn State. I'm like, this kid's a fucking monster. He reminds me of like Maurice Jones-Drew with some shit like that with like his fucking tree stump legs. You know what I mean?
He does have
Power runner, dude.
that dude has
Power
got
runner.
quads for days.
I was fucking texting
Quad
Drew,
damn
bro.
wheels.
I was texting Drew during the game, and I'm like, I didn't have any like radar on Saquon. I knew he was supposed to be great. I was hoping he wasn't going to be like one of those like expected, a highly touted prospect that just fucking fell off because of injuries and shit like that.
Yeah.
If he actually has some consistency at the level that he played week 1, say like a season or two, bro, JT, Henry. There might be a new Mixon. Anybody else up in that? There's another. You're throwing a whole other guy right in the mix as far as the top running back in the league.
Yeah, I mean this is going to be. Look, I'm happy for Saquon.
Me too.
I'm happy for the Giants. I feel like they, for the first time in a long time, they might be on the right track here. I still don't know if Danny Dimes is the answer, and I would really like for them when Kadarius Toney was in the game and they used him.
He's sweat now that Saquon's fucking healthy. He's like, "Woo, thank God, motherfucker!"
But I loved the fact that Kadarius Toney, when he was in the game, was productive and did what Kadarius Toney was supposed to do.
Just make that up.
But they just refused to use him. I don't know. I didn't get it. It was like he wasn't incorporated into the game plan. So. The Giants came out. They smacked
Great
the
play
tits.
call. I mean, ballsy play calls on
Dayball
the
making the call to go for 2. I mean, this undoes just – I mean, you've got to be ecstatic if you're a Giants fan. After suffering through fucking Joe Judge and, this just litany of list of coaches that just – what? What the – and Dave fucking Gettleman just ruining it every chance he gets. I don't know that they have their quarterback. I still don't. I think Danny Dimes is got a ton of potential, but I don't know if he's ever going to be the guy in New York. That being said, Brian Daboll, bravo, my friend.
Yeah.
Way to snatch that victory in a game that nobody gave you a chance to win.
Right.
And
I didn't see it happening.
Not for nothing, but that motivation on opening day, I feel like that showed through a lot this week. The Dolphins, everybody was talking about, the Patriots and this and that, and then they come out and they blast the Patriots. The Giants, everybody's talking about the Titans are going to cakewalk. They're going to walk them, and this is going to be over. They come out and they beat the Titans. The Broncos are coming into Seattle. Russ's return. He's going to throw 10 touchdowns against his old team. They suck. Geno Smith blows. And you saw it in the post-game interviews with Geno Smith and Shelby Harris. There was some personal... very personal post-game in where they were like, you obviously, Geno Smith, they wrote me off and I didn't write back.
I ain't write back.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. Cool. Good for Geno Smith. I actually kind of like him. I wish him all the best.
I never, ever had a problem with Geno
Smith.
But
if you listen to the interview with Shelby Harris, Russ comes in, they beat Russ, and Shelby Harris goes, well, yeah, you traded me away. What'd you expect? You know what I mean? This was personal for these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
There were some personal vendettas that were settled. Baker Mayfield coming out saying, I'm going to fuck them up in regards to the Cleveland Browns.
Didn't do it.
Gets beat at the buzzer.
Yep, one of those promises I wish was made good this
The Steelers come out and just – I mean, they
4 attempts? 4 total attempts?
That was the epitome of, I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. And the Steelers and the Bengals were like, you win this game. No, you win this game.
Like
no. I
insist.
insist.
They try and lose.
You win this game.
The baseball, remember?
Yeah.
Is it the Bad Dad episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was just that whole thing, and but it was personal for the Steelers because, like Mike Tomlin said, the Bengals didn't just beat them last year; they dominated them last year. Yeah. And they took that shit fucking personal, and they came out and they dominated right back. Now, granted that it cost him T.J. Watt for a few weeks, but it looks like he's going to be back around midseason.
Kid's a freak. He'll
the
fucking come back.
The pec tear, which as somebody who's torn their pec twice, I can tell you. It's no fucking picnic. That is one of my least favorite injuries I've ever had.
Definitely not when you want to rush back from.
And you can't rush back from it. You really can't.
Yeah,
it's just not. No, there's no.
It's a muscle tear straight up.
Yeah, you got to let the muscle reattach itself. Otherwise, it comes off the bone and boom, now you're done for a full year.
Right.
But luckily, his didn't come all the way off the bone like mine didn't, and I know exactly how that feels because I know mine didn't come off the bone. It was just a partial tear, but I mean, you remember I couldn't do a push-up for 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was bad.
Not even a push-up, without pain and be oh my god. Like I remember we were at a 4th of July party and I missed a thing in Can Jam or something and I dropped down to do a push-up like I dropped the ball or whatever and to punish myself.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot and I was like, oh no. I was like, I just fell flat on my face. I was like, oh yeah, can't do that. And that was 4 weeks after I had done it. So, TJ Watt coming back, good. It's good. I hope the Steelers do well this year. I really do. I like Mitch Trubisky. I love that as a reclamation project. I love Mike Tomlin. I love TJ Watt. Minka Fitzpatrick is fucking awesome. I mean, that's a fun team. I really, really, really like this Steelers team. And for me to say that takes a lot because I very, very rarely like a Steelers team.
I know.
But
I don't hate the Steelers, but I don't like them either because they're always that team that I'm like.
I want to love them, but they lose to the Patriots in the playoffs far too often.
And they usually beat us in the regular season, and I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, there should be a nice win in our fucking. You know what I mean?
They cause me pain. They cause me pain when they beat my team, and then they cause me pain when they lose to the team I want them to beat.
Exactly. You're just always fucking me somehow.
It's just like fuck you.
Steelers always fuck.
But
me
I
somehow.
love Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin to me is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like Watt. I like Minka. I like a lot of those dudes.
I just like. I love Najee.
Najee.
Love
yeah,
Najee.
I do too.
Love Najee. I love Pickens. I like Pickett when he gets his chance. Ultimately,
George Pickens gonna be.
George Pickens is that dude. I like Chase. You know, Deontay Johnson. I mean,
is Claypool still there?
Claypool's still there?
He's
on
still
my
talking
fantasy
all
team.
that odd shit and coming up with one reception.
He got me like 9 points, I think, this week.
Right,
I'll double check, but like I'm only in one fantasy football league now, so it's kind of easy.
I hope Kenny Pickett shows out for them. I like him. I don't like how they were talking about his small hands, and now he's going Teddy Two Gloves style, and I'm like, good. Do the Teddy Two Gloves if it works.
Chase only
bro.
got me 9.4 points.
Yeah.
So,
whatever.
I mean,
but
it
yeah,
is
the Steelers are that weird team where you're like, oh shit, this is the one team I need to fucking knock the team out that I hate.
4 grabs for 18 yards with a 36-yard end around rush.
But they're also that team that your team would have been there if you had beaten them in the fucking regular season, which is why I hate the fucking Steelers.
Yeah, exactly. The Steelers are one of those.
If my team had beat you, we should be there, and now you're standing in the way of the team I hate winning, so you better fucking win. Now I really don't want to root for you.
But at the same time, when I'm talking about the Steelers, and I'm like, fuck the Steelers, and then I look at that Joey Porter jersey I got in my closet, and I'm like,
Joey
yeah, but that was when the Steelers were like, ill.
Yeah, I know. Those were
Larry Foote, Joey Porter, fucking
Hines Ward, Polamalu,
Antoine Randall, a young Troy Polamalu.
Who was it Maddox? What? No,
Tommy Maddox was the backup quarterback in 04 who got hurt week 1, and then Big Ben came in, and the rest is history.
No, who was before
Tommy Maddox?
He was the backup to who?
Big Ben.
Who's before all them?
Cordell
Stewart, motherfucker.
Slash.
Dude, I'm sitting here. He's on the tip of my tongue, but I didn't want to even make.
Slash was.
I didn't
fun,
want to
dude.
even say a name to sound stupid because I'm like, no.
Slash was fun. I mean, the Hail Mary at
Cordell was
at Colorado against was it Michigan? I think it was. That he threw, but
they had the bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he was cool. Bus was cool.
Yeah.
Fast Willie Parker was cool. I just liked that defense. I loved that defense. Casey Hampton in the middle.
Yeah.
Remember he'd show up.
They didn't have Ike Turner.
He'd show up. Ike Turner was there. Yeah.
Was he that old? Yeah.
Ike Taylor.
Sorry.
Ike Turner.
Beating ass over
Beating your ass.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm tired. I've been up all day.
I know it is. It's all right. We're getting close to the end here, so we're good. But what do you want to? Let's do a little. Let me check my notes
We covered Colts. We covered Broncos. We covered all the shit ass things.
What about
that happened.
what do you think about the? Let's talk a little bit about the Cowboys
I'll
too.
say Dak Prescott's
because
out.
You got Dak. Dak gets hurt in the opener.
Yep.
And on Sunday Night Football against the Bucs at home,
Gets smashed. Not even a touchdown, bro.
Look.
Jerry Jones put out a public service announcement. Anybody who got a Cowboys uniform in the Cowboys jersey in the Dallas area, show up to practice at 9. I swear to God, if Colin Kaepernick fucking shows up, dude.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because that came up.
Cam Newton.
It's not happening. Don't worry.
No, all right.
But let's talk a little bit about the Cowboys and the Bucs because that was the Sunday night game and everybody was gassed up for that because large in part the games on Sunday were. They were wild, but they weren't. I don't know. I didn't find myself overly engaged.
Dude, I was on 2 hours of sleep.
I was gonna say maybe it's because we were
off on the couch.
We were tired. We were both tired on Sunday.
I was up all morning when I got home from work. I got home from work at 7 in the morning. I didn't go to sleep. I had we had to fix the toilet in the morning. We had some pots come over and shit. People were
you had
over.
stuff to do.
And then I barely went to bed for 2 hours and then woke up and went to your house and that was it. It was fucking game time, baby.
It's game time.
I didn't want to miss kickoff. I was not fucking doing it.
Where do we start with the Cowboys and the Bucs here? Obviously, Brady. Let's start with Brady. Let's start there because with Dak injuries, obviously,
as well as he always does.
I didn't think so. Brady to me played like a guy who missed 11 days of training camp.
Really?
I thought he was. I thought he got bailed out a couple times by Mike Evans and Julio Jones.
Of course.
But he didn't look good. He didn't look great. Micah Parsons was in his lap the entire night. The Godwin injury, I think, luckily for the Bucs, isn't as serious as it could have been.
Right.
But that offensive line is in shambles.
Yeah,
I mean, they
Fournette
took
throwing
another.
cheap shots.
They took another loss to their guard on Sunday night. They are banged up right now, and as good as good of players as they have, I feel like there's just this overwhelming sense of impending doom when it comes to the Buccaneers this year. Like I don't trust Todd Bowles. Brady looks a little off, and again, at what point? We always say, well, yeah, it's early. Brady's going to shake the rust off, but someday Brady's not going to be able to shake that rust off.
And on top of it, with all the...
At 45 years old, you would assume that's probably going to be this year.
Yeah, you would hope so. I mean, with all the
I'm
reports,
not Max Kellerman in this and saying Brady is he's fucking going off a cliff. Quiff.
Right. Well, he knows all. I mean, but like I said, like all the reports with those guys coming out saying like about the home life and things, it's like, damn, maybe this is like the first year that Brady's not 100% focused.
That he's not in it. Maybe
like,
just mentally he's going to be out of it.
I fucked up, said I was coming back. I'm coming back, and now I got to stick it out.
And not even just that, but I mean, dude, the guy's 45. I mean, great, good for him. He's the oldest, player to ever start an NFL football game.
Go a touchdown, whatever.
And I mean, God, that fucking touchdown though to Mike Evans, that one-handed grab that Mike Evans made was absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah. A lot of nice catches that went.
Yeah.
Like underrated nice catches.
Yeah.
That kid Beck. Your tight end on
Andrew Beck, yeah.
That was a nasty one-handed grab that he had.
Listen, the Broncos are going to be fine. Don't sweat it.
Yep. I think Julio had a nice fucking catch too,
yeah, he
didn't he? Julio had a
nice
catch.
Julio though. People forget still fucking Julio Jones, man. This dude ain't like he's never been no buster.
And he comes out and says he's healthy, nothing lingering, no problems. He feels good. He feels great. I'm pissed we didn't fucking gun for him. You know what I mean? We should have gunned for Julio Jones to put a nice vet on the team. Probably at what? How much do they pay him this year?
Basically nothing.
Almost
but
nothing, dude.
He got to choose where he went to, so.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Matty Ice should have made a little bit more of a case for him.
Maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he was all set.
I played with you my whole life. Fuck you, bro.
Maybe he was all set.
Yeah. It's like Devontae Adams.
But from a Cowboys standpoint, though, they lose. They lost. They lost their guard to.
Vita Vea.
No, their offensive guard. Jesus Christ.
Was
it not Connor McGovern? Was it Connor McGovern? Was that who they lost? I forget. But they lost their guard. As after the Tyron Smith injury, and then the kid who they had playing back. Playing guard. They bump him out to tackle. To play left tackle. Was it something else? Smith, I think his name is Tyler Smith, maybe. The names are all in my head. They're jumbled around, but. He plays, okay, pretty decent, doesn't do a bad job, but then they lose their guard. Now the Broncos, the Cowboys' offensive line is looking like it's going to be in a lot of trouble. And then they lose Dak Prescott, for 6 to 8 weeks. He had the surgery this morning.
It was Tristan Wirfs, wasn't it?
Tristan Wirfs got hurt? Is that who?
That was last year, right?
No, somebody else got hurt on Sunday night. Again, somebody else got hurt for the Bucs, but I'll go back and look later. It doesn't matter. But
right. Either there.
The point I'm getting at is from a Cowboys standpoint, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but I'm fairly certain like their season right now, if it's not over, it's on life support. Because you can't lose Dak Prescott for 6 to 8 weeks, even in an NFC that's wide open. You lose your starting quarterback for 6 to 8 weeks. To a thumb injury that never really should have happened. I mean, and they're talking pre-game about how Dak is, this is the first time in 4 years he's had a full off season where he's been healthy and he's participated 100%, and he's coming into the season with no injuries and there's nothing wrong. And then you get into the game, and they hand the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, and Ezekiel Elliott takes it. He's doing his thing, and you're going, okay, yeah, keep running the ball. And then Pollard comes in. He runs well. And then inexplicably, they take the ball away from the running backs. They completely take the running backs out of the game. And they start making Dak just throw the ball over the place. And Dak looked like a lost puppy out there. Dak didn't look anywhere close to the potential MVP caliber quarterback that he was going to be this year in this game. And I made a comment about it on Facebook during the game that my eyes were bleeding from watching Dak Prescott attempt to complete a forward pass. And my ears were bleeding from Chris Collinsworth's voice being fucking shot.
What were they talking about his slide?
Who?
The slide or something like that? The Chris Collinsworth slide or whatever it is?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll have to look it up and I'll show you. Apparently it's over. Somebody called it out. I don't know what it is. I have to Google it. We'll get back to that. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Quick aside there. But Dak Prescott looked like shit the entire night.
Feel bad for the guy, man.
CeeDee Lamb looked lost. They didn't look like the Cowboys' offense didn't look like they had it together. The Cowboys' defense, on the other hand, despite the fact they lost Randy Gregory in the offseason, looked like they very much had it together. Micah Parsons is probably going to be in the finalist running for Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Yeah.
That kid absolutely manhandled the Bucs offense single-handedly. And that's not overstating, reacting to one game. We expected this from Micah Parsons, and we saw this from Micah Parsons.
Like I said, Leonard Fournette had the cheap shot just to put him on his ass.
It wasn't a cheap shot.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
it's called the chip block. It's perfectly legal and it's perfectly normal.
A chip block, yeah, but he smashed with the shoulder high up.
Yeah, that's a chip.
I thought it was awesome. I was like, nice. Legal. This is fucking football, bro. But it was just, it's not something that you see like too often. Like
you do if you watch the game, you see it
but I mean,
you see it once a drive. That's a very regular play.
Really? It was the first time I've ever seen it so clear as day where like a running back would just like
because a lot of the times the defenders are savvy enough to see it coming. And they know to get out of the way or do something. It's like when they bring a receiver in motion and you're a defensive end and you're lined up and they bring the receiver in motion and they snap the ball right here and he just ear holes you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you got to see that coming, dog.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But Micah Parsons played absolutely flat out, balls to the wall, and he was awesome. Yep. That kid was fucking awesome. And somebody posted, one of our listeners that I talked to, Joe Bledsoe, made a post the other day about how linking the Baltimore Ravens, and he threw this out there about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson turning down the deal that the Ravens gave him.
Idiot.
Could you imagine if Lamar Jackson stays healthy this year and hits free agency next year, if the Dallas Cowboys decide to say, you know what? Let's go sign Lamar Jackson. And you know what? Just for good measure, we're going to bring Sean Payton in to be the head coach. Now, you bring Sean Payton and Lamar Jackson to Dallas.
How many years Mike McCarthy
with CeeDee Lamb in that offense? Mike McCarthy can be fired whenever they want.
Okay. Yeah, well,
he's a coach. It's not like he has, they're going to have to pay him regardless.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering, like, how long do they sign him for? Like, how much do they expect out of him is what I'm asking.
4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah.
Coaching contracts are one of those things.
It wasn't like Gruden where they signed him for 10 years, like, you're going to be our fucking guy for the next
It doesn't
decade.
even if they do, it doesn't matter. It's all
I know. I
lip
just
service.
wondered how much they invested. That's all.
Right. So they could get rid of Mike McCarthy. They could drop Mike McCarthy, bring in Sean Payton, and then you go out and you get Lamar Jackson in his prime
for $275
to come play with and to come learn under Sean Payton in Dallas. I'm like, ooh. Now
Jerry Jones's mouth is fucking
That's an idea right there that I could fucking get behind, because that would make the Cowboys not only relevant.
That would be so Jerry Jones, dude. That'd be so big dick swinging boss Texas
right?
oil fucking Jerry Jones.
Just
dude.
go out there and be like, you know what? We're getting these dudes, and it doesn't fucking matter.
We're spending $500 million on the both of them. Fuck it.
Yeah, and
drive fast cars. Fuck them.
I would love to see it. Obviously, it's a long way away, but you've got to kind of figure that this Dak injury
might be the last straw.
Is gonna make it really tough for them to really.
Is it though? We've seen the Cowboys hold on to dead weight for quite some time. Jason Garrett, but like, I mean, as far as the quarterback goes, I just think sometimes Jerry Jones might be too nice sometimes. You know what I mean?
I know, because I know Prescott played.
He believes in his players.
I know Prescott signed the 4-year deal.
Yeah.
This offseason. But, like, let's see, potential out after 2024. So this year, 95, 108. So there's really no way they could move him. It'd have to be a sign and trade type of deal.
Right. Take
like
on the rest
where
of
the Ravens sign him to some sort of mega deal and then trade him. But I'm like, I mean, it could work. It's given those numbers, probably unlikely. It seems like the Cowboys have hitched their wagon to Dak. But even Dak with Sean Payton is going to be an upgrade. That being said, I would love to see Jerry Jones go balls fucking out. Make a trade, Dak Prescott for Lamar Jackson.
What's better in the NFL than like a monumental move? You know what I mean? Like,
because they happen so rarely.
Right,
it's so much fun.
Like when Peyton went from Indy to Denver, it was just
seismic.
Like, what the fuck? Brady to the Bucks. Favre to the fucking was it Jets first?
Well, the
or
Jets
Vikings?
first, then the Vikings.
Then
but
the
yeah.
Vikings when Favre left the fucking Packers. Like those moves are so monumental, dude. It's nuts, and I love when it happens because you're like, ooh. Now they might be, now the Cowboys might actually be them fucking boys for once. Y'all can bust out your fucking jean shorts. You can bust out your fucking tall ass Air Forces.
No, the Jordan what are the Jordan? I don't know.
Jordan
8s
not the
or something.
13. Yeah, maybe. All right. Fresh ass pair of 13s, the black and red ones, or you go with the white one, whatever the fuck.
White and blue.
Yeah, all the white and blues. I don't know shit about shoes, but whatever. You know what I mean? I just think it's funny when this kind of shit happens. You know what I mean? And it would be an awesome fucking deal for Jerry Jones to put his team.
I just put
right back.
what Jordans that Cowboy fans wear.
Just put We Dem Boys starter pack. And it usually comes up with like the spiked hair, the old ass Oakley like sunglasses that are mad thin, like they look like the little like teardrops, and then it's got the throwback like Cowboys jerseys with the big star on the shoulder,
like
yeah,
these
exactly.
right here. These.
Yeah. See the
Those
jean
are them.
shorts.
Yeah,
those are the 13s. Those things are banging though.
13s, yeah, those are tight. Actually, I do like those a lot.
Those are my favorites.
I might actually have to get me a pair of those at some point. But
yeah. $4 bills.
We Dem Boys started back, cracked iPhone screen, ashy lips. That's a bet. Kind of racist. But yeah, see the Jordan 13s. Like, it's
yeah, with the fade. No, I know, but I'm just saying it would be awesome for the Cowboys to have that kind of hope again. I like when the Cowboys are good.
less than 5 minutes into Hard Knocks, and somebody circled a guy wearing jorts and Jordans.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, that's what it is. But I'm just saying,
it
would
is.
be awesome for Baltimore to be like, all right, fuck it. You're not going to sign with us. We can't afford that. We're not paying that for you. See you later. Who would they go with? Like, what would the backup plan for the Ravens be? You know what I mean? Like, realistically, like, what
Well,
would
there wouldn't be no backup plan. The plan would be trade for Dak Prescott.
just rebuild
because
all
if
of a
you
sudden?
can't, well, no, because if Lamar is going to refuse
You're
to,
really going to trade for Dak?
well, here's the thing. Hypothetically, let's just say Lamar is going to turn down any deal. Baltimore is not, willing to go above $250 million.
Right.
And he wants Deshaun Watson money, and everybody knows that was stupid, and they're not going to do it. But
that was my fucking point to my head before.
Let's just say, hypothetically, the Cowboys would say, hey, look, we'll give Lamar Deshaun Watson money. We'll trade you Dak. We'll throw in, I don't know, a first. I don't know, whatever they would have to do to make it work.
Right.
2 for, Dak for, for Lamar, and then, some other moves, and, the Ravens get a quarterback for $164 million as opposed to having to pay Lamar $300.
Right.
And Jerry Jones goes, I'll pay Lamar $300. I want to go back to the glory hole days. My eyes aren't too far apart.
Dude, it's insane. I was thinking of this before to myself, and I'm like, I was watching this thing about how, like, Richard Sherman's, like, being an advocate for, like, Lamar Jackson being like, nah, fuck that, get paid. I'm like,
yes.
At what point is hundreds of millions of dollars not a fucking enough, dude? Your greedy ass is pissing me off.
Because it's not about the hundreds of millions of dollars.
But the Browns were stupid.
Right,
That's not the new precedent.
But you're missing the point.
How?
You're missing the point. The point is he's not going after $300 million because he needs $300 million to sustain his lifestyle or whatever he wants, or he's greedy. He's going after $300 million because he knows goddamn fucking well the owners can pay it. They have it. It's a drop in the bucket for them, and that they're just using and abusing these players, and these guys are in and out commodities to them.
Is it, though?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. 100%. That it goes back to what do I always say? When a player signs Steve McNair, the Steve McNair example is the perfect example. Steve McNair signed a 7-year contract in whatever 1999. A 7-year, whatever, call it $100 million deal. I forget the exact numbers of it, the parameters of it.
Right.
He played hurt. He played wounded every year. Never held out. Never missed training camp. Never did anything. He got to the 2005 season, and back then the contracts were always backloaded, very heavily backloaded, meaning they would only pay you, 20, 21 million, or your cap hit was like, manageable the first 4 years, and then the 5th year came, and it's like, okay, you owe me $38 million or $28 million.
Right.
And the Titans basically told Steve McNair, we're not paying you that. Either restructure your deal or we're going to cut you. And Steve McNair was like, but I've showed up every day for 5 years, played hurt, giving you everything I had.
Mad injuries.
And the Titans said,
and you know what? King of playing with
and you know what the
injuries.
Titans said?
What?
Steve, we get it. We love you, but this is a business decision.
Right.
So when the team decides a player is no longer worth that dollar amount and they cut him, release him, trade him, whatever, because he's not worth what they just deem him to be worth, it's a business decision. But when a player outplays his contract, say a guy
hits all his incentives.
Not even hits all of his incentives. Let's say you get paid. You got a quarterback that gets paid. You pay him $25 million a year, right? Let's just say, for example,
4-year, $100 million, 25 a year.
Perfect. Let's use Case Keenum as an example. When he came to Denver a couple of years ago, they gave him an $18 million deal for 2 years, right? $18 million each year. Let's say Case Keenum comes out and throws 57 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and wins the Super Bowl in year number 1 of that deal. Is he still only worth $18 million the next year?
I don't know.
No,
That's
he's
the contract
probably
you signed.
he's but that's
you might want to renegotiate after the second year, but yeah,
that's the point. But now, that's the point. That's why when players hold out and players say, "No, I outplayed my contract." Okay,
says who though?
Says all the statistics they put up, the analytics,
but
the
that's
agents.
all subjective. That's
no, it's not.
That's not law on paper.
Yes, it is.
How do you fit?
Because that's what the agents. Because that's what the agents use to bargain.
Right, so it is like incentives.
No,
so
it's not
these
incentives.
clauses are not written in paper.
No, there's no clauses. Incentive-based contracts are if you play X amount of snaps, you get a $500,000 bonus.
But that would be like outplaying your contract. It's got to be fucking.
No.
It's gotta be written down.
Outplaying your contract means you signed for $10 million, and the guy who's getting paid $20 million, you did better than him. You're better than him.
I still think that's subjective. That depends on what the team wants to pay for you.
If Julio Jones gets,
it's called good ownership.
No, it's called a business.
Right, but don't be a shitbag owner when the guy who's outplaying your boy, you might want to be like, all right, we'll match at least. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm getting at is when the team says, when the player doesn't play up to the contract they signed,
yes,
the team can cut them and save the money.
Get it.
And it's a business decision.
I get it.
When the player exceeds the contract that they might have signed the year before and they all of a sudden explode, now they're a superstar, and they hold out and they want more money, they're a greedy piece of shit.
But all I'm saying is, if you sign a 2-year deal, you got to play those fucking 2 years under that money regardless of how well you play.
You're the player.
But you signed on the dotted line.
But why is it that the NFL owners and the NFL teams can cut you after that 1 year? So let's say if you sign a 2-year, $40 million deal as a wide receiver, and you come out and post 560 yards, 2 touchdowns, and you're kind of hurt all year, and they can cut you after that year and save $18 million. Yeah. Boom, there goes your $18 million.
I should be like, no, I signed a 2-year contract. You got to keep me and pay me for
what
I'm.
That's not how it works.
I know it should be, but that's what I'm saying.
Paul, that's not how it works, though.
I get it.
But when the player does it, they're labeled greedy and shitbags. And when the teams do it, it's a business decision. And it's a way to demonize the players and make them look like assholes.
Honestly, I've never looked at it like that.
When you're talking about guys like, oh, you signed on the dotted line, I'll play through your fucking contract. Bullshit, asshole. If you went to work tomorrow, right? Let's say, because everybody knows one, right? We all have that one friend that's like, oh, when I leave, this place is going to fold, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Let's just say hypothetically that there was somebody like that, and that person left, and that place did fold. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, goddamn, we need him back.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, I'll come back, but it's going to cost you. Now he's illustrated his value to that team.
Understood.
That's what these players are doing. They need to maximize because the players only have a window of 2 to 4 years max to get as much money as they can.
For the most part.
And what do you think the NFL owners are going to run out of money? And that's the flip side of this coin. The NFL is the only business maybe in the world that we've seen that has been, or sport anyway, that has been recession proof. It has grown during recessions. It has only gotten more popular. There is more money. The billionaires are becoming even more worth more and more billions every year. And yes, while the salary cap is going up, the players like we talk about all the time, $50 million a year going forward is going to be your standard for elite level quarterbacks. That's going to be your standard. Because the TV money that's coming in, all the revenue streams that the NFL gets, the NFL has more money than they could possibly know what to do with. And the NFL, the owners, the 32 owners, look and say, okay, I have all this money. How can I spend as little of this money as possible and maximize my product on the field?
Of course.
That's the business end of it.
And you win a Super Bowl,
the players are
doubles.
looking at it going, I know how much money you fucking have. I know what you're worth. I'm going to demand more, and I'm going to get it in writing, and I'm going to get my money because I only got 4 years to do this. You could own this team for the next 40, 50 years.
Right.
You're not going to be you have no worries of going broke. None.
Unless you're the Jaguars owner. That guy's fucked.
Shad Khan?
No, maybe not the Jaguars.
No, Shad
no,
Khan's-
Panthers. Sorry, Panthers owner.
Well, he got booted out because but
Yeah.
even still he has no
Sorry,
even
Ron.
still he has zero chance of going broke in his life.
Right.
None. There's
I
no
heard his real estate company's fucked. I heard he's in the bag for like a lot of dough.
Yeah, but maybe he made bad business decisions.
Like 80% of his like net.
I don't know.
like,
Maybe
is, like,
maybe there's rare instances where a guy like that will make bad investments and bad business.
Like he's only
going to
be worth like $800 million after everything's said
Oh,
and done.
no.
I know, but he's no longer worth like $4 or $5 billion or whatever he's worth.
Jesus
3 or
Christ,
4
the
billion.
humanity! I know I could never live off of $800 million. How could I
know.
possibly?
I just call it quits
but
after that.
But that's my point: is that the players know what the owners earn. They know how much they're worth, and they know how much
they're in the building.
They know
man.
how much the
walls
NFL
talk.
can spend on their players
Right.
to keep it. And the players are sitting there going, "Listen, man, I'm the one putting my body on the line. Nobody's coming to the fucking Cowboys to see Jerry Jones. They're coming to see Ezekiel Elliott and Micah Parsons."
I'm actually really mad at myself that I was on the very, very wrong side of this argument and thinking that Lamar Jackson was a piece of shit for trying to hold out for more money.
No, Lamar Jackson, especially a guy
I'll
that
literally
plays
be the first one to tell you I was dead ass wrong. I 100% agree. Now that you've explained it, I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you're right. I'm like, yeah, get that $300 million, bro.
Yes.
Fucking rob them, motherfuckers.
Because guess what? He's
gonna
he's gonna get $300 million this year, and then not only is he getting his $300 million, which he earns and deserves because he is the talent, he is the guy that is on the field
True.
that is making the NFL billions. Because every time they put Lamar Jackson on Monday Night Football, ESPN is paying out the ass, Disney is paying out the ass to have that game on their schedule. Because they know that that's going to do for their ad revenue. They know how many people are going to pay them to advertise.
The money's always coming in,
Their
man.
money is never ending with the NFL. That's why
I'm about to spend like almost $400 on a fucking Jonathan Taylor jersey. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
The money's coming in, bro.
and that's and that is a minuscule part of the NFL's revenue.
right.
minuscule.
I'm just one. 400. One.
Right, but even if you and 100,000 other Colts fans spend $400 on a jersey, it's still what's that? $400,000?
How many thousand people did you say?
Whatever, just call it 1,000 people spend 400. You know what I mean?
Quick maths.
Yeah, let's just say it's $400,000 on jerseys.
Yeah.
400,000. It's not even half.
That doesn't even cover the
I have
fucking
$1 million.
rookie minimum.
Okay, cool. Like we barely covered our practice squad.
I was
going to
say that's like 2 guys on the practice
Yeah,
squad.
like so you see what I'm saying? The money that we're talking about is astronomical, and that's why it's up to these players to go get it. And then not only do they get it for themselves, but now they set the bar that much higher for the guy coming after them,
Right.
and the guy after him, and the guy after
Right,
him,
right.
and now we're seeing $40 and $50 million contracts being thrown around at quarterbacks like no big deal,
Right.
because we know next year or in 2024 when the new TV deals kick in, the cap's going fucking
up.
through the roof. There's going to be more money. The NFL is going to have more money than we could possibly fucking fathom, and I don't even know how or why. And they're still expanding. They're adding teams. They want to go international. Like they're not even close to done. They haven't even scratched the surface with how much money they anticipate they're going to be making in the next 2 decades.
$1 trillion industry.
They will be.
First private $1 trillion
They will 100%
sports industry.
be $1 trillion industry if they're they're already on the cusp. But
I mean, I'm sure they probably made from the dawn of NFL time. to now. It's over
Well,
$1
I mean, they
trillion.
make what? I mean, Roger Goodell makes $45 million a year just himself.
What's the billions as far as yearly revenue goes for all 32 teams? The NFL
I want to
as
say
a whole.
I want to say it's at
It's
least a
couple
$1 billion.
billion.
It's over like 1.6 billion, I think.
1.6 billion? Oh, so they haven't even touched $1 trillion yet then. Not even fucking close. It'd have to be hundreds. It'd have to be like
In 2001, the NFL generated $17.19 billion.
17 billion in 2001.
In 21. Sorry,
Oh,
2021.
All right, so we're getting there. You know, maybe not $1 trillion industry as of now, but like maybe coming up.
Let's see.
100 billion anyway, obviously in the bag.
So if we're gonna look at total revenue,
This is interesting shit.
is that just that 1 year though?
Does it give you a whole
A cumulative total. So just to give you perspective, in 2001 they netted 4.28 billion.
Yep.
And they've gone up every single year. The only year they dropped down was 2020 because of the pandemic.
Yep.
And they dropped to 12.2 billion from 15.2, and then they spiked back up to 17.19. So I mean, you do the math.
You're looking at $300 billion over the course of
You're looking
20
at-
years.
I mean, it's dude,
Looking
it's
at like 300 billion. Or
it's a lot of fucking money. Let's put it
250
that way.
billion, something
I'm not a
crazy.
mathematician, but I know that shit fucking adds up.
And we're not making dead air time to fucking sit here and do the math and calculate it.
Yeah, I could add it
Somebody
all up.
do it
but-
at home and do it.
Yeah.
Send it, call us.
But at the end of the day, the NFL there's no risk of them going broke. There's no risk of them running out of money.
Now that
and
pays-
that's why I always take the players' side in these contract negotiations and when the players play hardball with the league, because fuck the league, dude. They got more. They could pay it, no problem. Like why does MLB pay their players no problem willy nilly?
NBA,
hundreds of
all
millions. The NBA
guaranteed.
get paid
All
full
guaranteed.
guaranteed. And those sports, those
Good
guys
union.
don't get nearly as
At the
beat
time.
up.
Yeah. No shit.
You
I
know, I mean, listen, we know what football is.
I wonder why hockey lacks so much. I feel like hockey brings in a pretty good amount, but
Not as much as you think.
no, but not. But I mean, yeah, I guess maybe not. I don't know.
Just to give you
Comparison of what is this NHL earnings? Is this 2021 NHL earnings?
NHL revenue jumped to a record high of 1.4 billion last year.
Good. I want to see it go up. I like hockey, and I hope it does well. And I think those guys deserve to be fucking paid too.
That's coming off of
But-
that means after last year 623 million. So
Yeah.
think about that. They made
That's
the NFL made 17 times what the NHL does.
That's insane. And obviously, I get it. I'm not sitting here like advocating for some fucking magic money that doesn't fucking exist. Like, unfortunately, most people who root on like WNBA and like less popular leagues where they want all this money. But
Well,
they,
the WNBA is 100% subsidized by the NBA.
yeah,
And the WNBA they've been
I'm saying
hemorrhaging
they-
money, and
Yeah,
but they
fuck-
started it as an advocacy thing,
But I'm just saying, I'm not wishing
because
for
there's
money
plenty
for
of girls that
NHL.
play basketball.
right. I'm just saying I'm not wishing for money for the NHL players that isn't there. You know what I mean? Like economics, kind of like 101.
Right,
I
right,
get it,
exactly,
you know,
right.
It's not there.
Listen,
but
hockey's
I hope
cool,
It does.
but it's not making the money the
The
NFL
NFL
does.
is. NFL's just a fucking. You can't beat it, bro.
It's the juggernaut.
You can't beat a fucking Sunday
Dude, what did we
morning
do?
in the fall,
What did we do
dude.
all day on Sunday?
Throw some fucking wings on the grill, crack some beers, kid. Maybe throw some cornhole before fucking kickoff, and then you got a fucking slew of games all day of some sick ass shit.
And you're
going
just
on.
wall to wall all day.
All day. And then, and like I said, like West Coast sucks for football. I'm sorry, but y'all games are over at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. Like, what the fuck do you guys do at night after that? Like,
Well, they
I like
do like
the,
fun stuff.
I
And
like
they
the,
do like brunch and shit, which is
No, but no.
I
But I'm
kinda dig.
at night. I'm saying at night. Like they go out to the bars, but there's no games on when they go to the bars. It's all over.
yeah, that
I'm
is
like,
kind of
that
weird.
fucking blows. I'm like, I want to go to the bars and watch the next game
Right,
until
the Sunday
11
night game,
o'clock.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is weird, but it is what it is. But we'll leave it there. We'll get into week 2 next week. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
More action.
Pool Holes watch is on. He's at 697.
Three
He's got
more.
3 to go, baby. 3 to
more.
go. Please, if there was ever a baseball gods, please give us this. I want this so bad, not just for my own personal reasons. I want it for Pool Holes
I want it for baseball.
because I think the machine deserves it.
I want it for
I'm
baseball.
glad he at least passed A-Rod.
Yes. 697. bro.
697.
And he let that girl keep the ball.
Could you imagine though if he comes up one short?
No, I'd be like, yo, your ass is coming back.
Right? He already said he won't. He already said he's done.
No.
This is it.
Damn, so he's got to do it. It's got to be organic like that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a fucking one for the storybooks, dude, for Pujols and MLB in general, because he's just such a OG,
if he has
bro.
699 in the last game of the season, he's gonna see nothing but belt high fastballs the whole night. You know,
Dude throws a
the
40 mile an hour
the other
slow
team's just gonna be like,
down
all
the
right,
middle."
bro, this is BP, and you know it.
Nah, I'd be like, don't you fucking do it. Don't you fucking do it.
He probably would as a competitor. He'd probably be
I mean,
pissed.
don't you fucking do that. You make me earn that shit. I want my 700 the way it's supposed to be
I want him
earned.
to finish the season with 701. I want him to
would
go
be
in.
happy
I want
with
him to go
7
into the
flat.
final 3-game set of the year, which I believe is against the Reds. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that.
699 will be a massive heartbreak.
I will be devastated
699
if he only
will
gets
be a
699.
Massive heartbreak.
But we'll keep an eye on that. Big motorsports news. Obviously, Formula One's back. Max Verstappen's running
kicking
away with it.
ass,
But in
bitch.
bigger news, my guy, Kyle Busch, fellow Denver Bronco fan, going to drive for Richard Childress Racing next year. He's going to be
Nice.
piling in the number 8 Chevy, baby,
Word.
for RCR. Leaving Gibbs. Fucking love that.
Nice.
I hope it's a
Joe Gibbs,
black
the
number
captain.
8,
Is
and
it
I
the
hope.
captain?
No, that's Penske.
Oh, Penske. Fuck Penske.
Gibbs is coach.
Yes, I like Gibbs.
Yeah.
I do like Gibbs.
I like Gibbs too, but they kind of did Kyle Busch dirty.
He
And
reminds me of Lou Holtz, but then he opens his mouth and you're like, you're not Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
You know?
just little glasses.
Yeah.
But no, I Kyle Busch has grown on me over the years. Him and Kurt have grown on me over the years. I used to hate Kyle Busch, and then I realized that I was a lot more like him than I realized, and like attitude-wise. And then I found out he was a Broncos fan, and his nickname's Rowdy, as in
Shit.
Rowdy Burns. Like it's
Fuck,
on
he's
the
just-
on the door of his car.
He's
It's
just
like
checking all the
I'm like,
boxes, bro.
all right, man, fuck it. You're my new favorite going
He's
in
checking-
next year,
I'm
bro.
still a Chastain guy, but
Oh, I love the watermelon farmer, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
he's a melon farmer.
Melon farmer. Bristol on Saturday night is going to be fucking awesome. I'm bummed I got to miss it because I'm
Gotta
actually
work.
going to fucking have to work this week, which sucks.
Got to walk into a building and walk out of a building.
I'm
in
going to
16
walk in
hours.
and walk in and out of a building, and it's going to piss me off.
there's
But I'm going
16
to
hours in
DVR.
between
I'm going
that.
to DVR. I'm not going to look at anything. I'm going to DVR. I'm going to come home and watch the whole thing Saturday night
Yeah.
in preparation for week number 2 in the National Football League. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I apologize for the stream quality. I have no idea what the fuck was going on here tonight. I don't think it was in my I know it's not in my control because it's just something Facebook's doing.
We should have just ran with it, but we didn't know. So
we were
had
trying to fix it to make it
yeah.
better, but at the end of the day, sometimes we just got to deal with the cards we're dealt. So we will be back next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. right here on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide. Be sure to give Row 1 Seat 1 a like and a follow. Be sure to, if you can repost or share this video, retweet it. I was going to say retweet it, but this is Twitter. If you can throw this, share this video, share it, get it out there, because I know we had a lot of people tonight that probably didn't even realize that they are looking for the feed and they can't find it.
Yeah.
I've gotten a ton of text messages throughout the show. Are you guys live? Are you guys live? Are you guys
Technology is
live?
great when it works.
So we'll try to mop this up, clean this up a little bit, just like my Broncos are going to clean it up next week. And we'll be back looking crisp as fuck, good as ever. And we'll be back right here at 8:30 p.m. Tuesday night. So for Plizzy and Mr. Betancourt could not be here tonight, I am your host, Joey Fats. We will check y'all next week.
Peace.